Let me say hello to you, or ni hao in Chinese, or privyet in Russian, or namaskar in Hindi, or just in Spanish, hola. From this book, I went over to see which actually were the wealthiest men in the planet. As you can recognize them, they are right here. 6 of the wealthiest men. The one that I really learned from how to get rich is that guy in here, the one that I recommend. Felix Dennis. The one that I admire in science, which is the topic today, is that one guy here. Leonardo da Vinci in this biography by Walter Isaacson. As you can see, New York Times bestseller and plenty of other books. Let's see here this $10,000 book, Science for the Citizen by Lancelot Hopkins, especially because that is the signed edition. First edition, actually. What is actually the most important issue when you are learning about science? Please let me show you. This here is the most important word when you learn about science. When you're learning and when you're teaching. And let me pronounce that for you, please. In German, Begeisterung. And then you say in English, enthusiasm. Or in French, enthusiasm. Or in Chinese, Reiqing. Or in Arabic, Alhamaz. Or in Korean, Jo Wang. Or here in Swahili, Shauku. Or in Japanese, Netsue. Or here in Turkish, Koşku. Russian, enthusiasm. Or here in Finnish, inostusta. Or here in Hindi, utsa. Here in Danish, begeistring. Or here in Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, in even Catalan, just with a little modification in here, but in general you would say entusiasmo, which means that you really put the spirit into that what you're doing. Why do I say this about science? And I dare to say that to all of you, because when you inject that to your students, they do the rest for you. Let me say that as a teacher. Enthusiasm, which in German is something like putting the spirit into something, is like when you get really engaged. When you show that, let's say, that discovering of a kid, when the kid discovers a new game. And you know what is the thing in particular that I have seen in all those wealthy men that I have just shown you? That all of them had that look in their eyes. It's not so much about the money. It's about the way they did it. And actually they see that as a game. Felix Dennis, the guy I just mentioned in there, the creator of Maxim magazine, shows this. Just look at him. The late Steve Jobs, you will see that in his eyes too. When you remember Bill Gates' face, is just that, discovering his world. Now, when you go back in history and you see some of his paintings, some of his, let's say, writings and everything, you really sense that enthusiasm issue in Leonardo da Vinci. And that is actually what I really strongly recommend anyone in this planet, in the English-speaking world, to do anything in your life, but with all enthusiasm in the world. Because believe me, I have seen many things. I have read thousands of books, as you can see in here. Look, about science fiction, about history, you name it, about health recently, but about businesses, and it all comes to the same point. People that are very successful in business are people that really show their enthusiasm for that what they do. And that is something you should do all the time, really. If you like to succeed and maybe you are not interested in having those millions of dollars that those people have, the ones that I just showed you, but you are really interested in having success in that what you do, no matter what that is. It's good for your health. It's good for your success. It's good for your brain, because somehow you're telling your brain that this is a game, that you somehow enjoy this. And out of the fact that you're doing this, you get the rest of it. You get kind of integrality in here. And you can ask any neurologist in the world. I dare to say that when you get enthusiastic about something, is telling your neurons to connect one and another, and then to segregate more neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, and the rest of them. And out of this fact, your brain finds pleasure. So, you found pleasure the first time you did it, then you will continue doing it so much more. And let me talk to you about some woman where I saw that in her face. You can see her face when you see her in YouTube and any other video. And a woman that I really learned a lot from her masterclass. It sounds like propaganda, but it's really true. She is that good in that what I have seen. She is my age though. I mean, I have to say that. Sara Blakely, the founder and owner of Spanx. Check online and then you will see what I'm talking about. When you see in her face the way she does this is the same what you see, for example, in Oprah Winfrey. They love what they do. It's not so much about the money. It's so much about doing that what they really enjoy doing and having success doing that. So much more. So, and that is how you, no matter what you do, no matter what that is, even if you are a waiter, waitress, scientist, doctor, engineer, normal worker, just discover your pleasure. In many cases, it's not easy. But if you start a project showing and telling your brain that you really enjoy that, then you will see why many people that are very successful continue doing that what they do. When you see, for example, Roger Federer, the tennis player, and then you see why is he still playing, almost 40 or around 40 now, and continues playing by a time that most people actually already retire, because of the fun, because of the game, because of the enthusiasm. And that kind of pleasure is for me the key factor. I repeat that again, the real deal when you do something, the key factor, because you enjoy, because you do. And even if you are doing things that you don't enjoy that much, find that kind of pleasure. Tell your brain that you really like to do this so much more. And in the very moment that you have the opportunity to switch over and continue doing that what you really like, then you will see that your brain connects the rest of the ideas. It might be hard a little bit at the beginning. Be patient. Work a little bit longer. That's what I'm telling you in my channel. Work a little bit more with a language, and then you will see what it looks like. And that's what I'm telling you when, for example, I tell you something in German like this. Das ist genau das, was eine Person immer tun sollte. Die Begeisterung sollte immer da sein. Or in French. C'est pour ça que l'enthousiasme, c'est la meilleure chose que tu le peux dire à le cerveau. Travailler avec enthousiasme, c'est vraiment meilleur. O si je dois dire ça en espagnol. Por eso es que el entusiasmo es el factor clave a la hora de tener éxito en cualquier cosa, porque se vuelve como un juego. So, that's the question about learning, challenging your brain, discovering everything like a kid, valuing, being thankful, and enjoying it, having pleasure. Like Sara Blakely says, discover your purpose and discover that what you really enjoy. Best lesson ever. Her masterclass is definitely a masterclass. Check all people that are really successful, and then you will see that factor that I'm telling you about. And you can find that within yourself too. I'll continue telling more about neuroscience and neuroplasticity. Subscribe to my channel and resend that video to all people that you think they should know more about enthusiasm, how to discover more pleasure in their life, how to segregate neurotransmitters, and how to really have fun with all what we have. Thanks for your time, and please continue enjoying your life. Thank you.